Hello there, my name is Simon Lines Chege, aka Mwalimu, and welcome to the Learning with Lines podcast. And the particular goal I have this particular podcast is to share skill and information to transform creatives and make them better in whatever they do. And today, my photography people, I have an award-winning documentary photographer. Forget about us studio people and portrait people. Documentary photographer who has been published by big bodies like WHO, UN, UNESCO, and much more. So without further ado, let me introduce my guest. He's a longtime friend of mine, and I've known him for close to a decade. And we're going to have a beautiful conversation about what he does and learn more about the genre of documentary photography. So without further ado, Miaron Billy. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. Nice to be here, man.
Much welcome, man. How is Nairobi compared to the fresh air you're used to in the wild?
The fresh air in the wild is amazing. Though it depends with the season. Recently from Amboseli, very dusty. Very, very dusty. So right now Nairobi, I think, is better because of the rain.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm happy to be here. Beautiful studio over there.
Thank you so much. Well, yeah, first time in our new studio.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's a bit different from what we had previously.
Very different from what we had.
Thank God for progress.
Awesome.
Yeah, so anyway, let's get into it because nowadays people want to get into the juice as quick as possible, okay? Yes. So let's go back to 2016-15 and tell us about how you got into photography.
Interesting. I think I'll even go way back to when I was a young boy. So my parents are teachers.
My parents are teachers.
I know that. So my dad used to love buying newspapers. So the one thing that would always excite me to view a newspaper is the images that are there.
Nice.
I think that's even how I became an Arsenal fan. There is a page that I opened and we had this amazing photo of Thierry Henry. And he was like floating in the air and then holding the ball with his leg. It's a legendary photo in the Arsenal archives. And it was shot by Stuart McFarlane, who is among the best Premier League photographers.
Nice.
He shoots for Arsenal. So, and then my dad also used to buy lots of these National Geographic magazines. And I would just spend a lot of time just looking at the images and just being wowed by what's happening all around the world. And how now I knew that I love images more than reading is when my dad gave me the Constitution of Kenya. And I looked at it and I was like, there's no photos. Take it back. I don't want this. So flash forward, when I was in campus, we were both in KU.
Yes.
I used to do a lot of photography with my phone. And guys would always want photos that are taken by my phone, even if some of them had better phones. But I still didn't know that that's something that I had in myself until now in that 2015 when I had applied for a volunteer program in Nigeria and I went there with VSO. So every day while we were working, while everyone else was writing journals about their experience, I would just take photos and small videos. I had a Sony Xperia L. To be specific, it had a certain curve. Anyone who has ever used those Sony Xperia phones will remember. So during our final presentation, after 4 months, other groups were making very long PDF presentations.
Yes.
Ours was full of multimedia. So lots of photos, lots of videos, and it was such a good presentation to the extent that the project officer was like, hey, Billy, I think as much as you came here with IT skills, because that's what I studied in KU, I did software engineering, he was like, I think you are more talented in telling stories visually. So immediately, I told myself, you know what, I'll be a documentary filmmaker. I'll come back to Kenya and VSO will be my first client. Well, I came, did one website that I was developing for a client. And the money that I made, I took a risk and imported a Nikon D3300 from eBay. So it came to Kenya. And by the time it was coming, I had tried my best to download PDFs online and get an understanding of how cameras work. So I was very curious. The first day I went all the way to Uhuru Park. I didn't even know that Kanjos at that time were disturbing people who want to shoot.
Yeah.
So I just went there and shot, and luckily I came back home with an amazing image of Nairobi shot at Uhuru Park.
Cityscape.
Yes. And then from then I would now start taking photos and photos and photos of my friends. I was not getting paid, so no one was paying me. So I'll just stand maybe at the KU gate, see some beautiful girls, request them if I can go and take photos of them. At the time, Boat was the guy. So everyone would just ask me, how many followers do you have on Instagram? Do you shoot photos like what? I had, I think, 110 followers or something. So I'd always shy from that question. And during this time, I would take lots of photos and then go and try and edit. I didn't even know how to edit very well. So that's when I would mix colors and do all those stuff. One day, a friend of mine called Vim and I were in KU Arboretum.
Yes.
So we went there trying to take some photos. And so we would just find people chilling, and then we ask them if we can take photos of them. And then in the process, we'll share the photos with them. And then I can get something to post online.
Yes.
During that time, there was a gain train that was happening. So for those who don't know about gain trains, during that time, if you wanted to get more followers, you would use them. So we had like gain with Kristen Della, I think gain with Bull or something. Those Bull somewhere. So this guy, gain with Bull, I remember I would just see a guy called Lines Photography. And he would post a lot of photos and had these activities that you talk about and advertise that you can come for a photo shoot and then for a certain package, something like that. At the time, I didn't even have a brand for myself. I didn't even know what to call myself. So Vim and I are at KU Arboretum. Then we find this, I think there were 4 people, 2 girls and 2 gentlemen. And we asked them if we can take photos of them. And they were like, are you Lines Photography? Because we're here to look for Lines Photography. And we were like, wait, I asked Vim, what are we? And then he said, we are Billy Miaron. And so they were not so happy, but one of the guys was like, let's just try and see what they'll do. It won't hurt. So it's from then that I kept on following this guy called Lines and wondering who's this guy. Until one day I get a DM. And maybe I can go back to you now.
Yes. So as you're watching Lines Photography and seeing what I was doing online, I was also seeing someone posting very nice images. Actually, the connector was the location because many of us that were photographers and were in KU, we started from Arboretum. So anyone who was shooting at Arboretum was of interest to me because I needed to know who is in my competition. So that's why I saw your images. Then I had that curiosity, that beginner curiosity of what camera does he use, what lens does he use. So after sleeping on that particular question for so long, I decided, come and buy. So I came to your DM and asked you what you use. And coincidentally, you're using the same gear that I was using. Yeah.
That I think you were using a 35 lens and I was using a 50.
Yes, I had a 35 and you had a 50.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, that's where now I think our connection started. And now that was my first journey in photography. I think I shot for like 3 months without making even a coin from it. Until one day. So during that process, my good friend Ben, who was a teacher at that time, he used to blog. So we made a partnership with him where we would say, if Ben has an article that he wants to do, he can tell me what the article is. Then I would use that article as inspiration for a photo shoot.
Makes
so
sense.
I go and do a photo shoot, then he can use the images on his blog. So he had a classmate called Yvonne who would volunteer as a model. And one of these days, he went to shoot Yvonne, but she was with her niece because she was babysitting her. So she asked me, can I come with her? I'm like, yeah, it's okay, it's fine. So we do this shoot, and then we are done with her. I take some good photos of her niece. And when Yvonne is about to leave, she's so happy, and she tells me, hey, Billy, I think you've done a good job. Take this 300 shillings, and it's just a token to you. I called my dad, and I was like, I've made my first 300 shillings photography. I'm not quitting. This is it. And like that, now the journey started. I was very aggressive. I think I would post like 3 times a day. So from there, I would go to KU Arboretum, do lots of shoots for free, shoot with my friends, and then just post. And I grew. I watched myself grow very, 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 very fast. So I would go and do events, even if I'm not getting paid. So if my friend has a wedding, I would go there as a photographer, even if I'm not the official photographer. So my trick was always making sure that I deliver my photos before the official photographers deliver, so that the hype continues. By the time now they're getting the official photos, they've already utilized mine. So that's how basically my journey started.
Very nice. So as you're growing this thing, there's a point you came to connect again for work.
Yes.
And that was for Red Bull and a Chaxi. I think that's a
Yeah.
good thing that we can maybe highlight. So let me start from my end because the job came through me.
Yes.
So for those that watch podcasts, you know Mike Check podcast by
Number one in
Chaxi.
Kenya.
So when I was in KU, I think Chaxi was 2 years behind me.
Yes.
And Chaxi was a radio host at KU FM. So I think he called me for interviews a couple of times, and that's how me and Chaxi built a friendship. And so when during that particular he became a campus influencer for Red Bull, and later on became an employee of Red Bull. And so when they had that acquisition drive for, it was Sky Vodka,
Yeah,
Sky Vodka and Red Bull,
Yeah.
he called me to give me a job and asked me, can you get another photographer that can be doing night jobs and covering activations? And who else did I call? I called you, and we can pick from there.
This was January 2018.
Yeah, 2018, yes.
January is a dry period. When people talk about January having 64 days, it's not a joke. So I remember the first time that you told me about, we asked for the price tag just to know how much they were paying. And I think it was 3,000 shillings.
Yes, per
And we were
night.
like, this is very little. We already now have like around 2 years of experience in photography. We are not going to take 3,000 shillings for a whole night. 2 weeks pass. Bro, kona kazi. Hata mi sina. So what do? Let's call Chaxi and tell him we will take the job.
Is the opening still available?
Yeah.
Yes.
So luckily, it was, and I think my first assignment I was sent to near Air Center. We had a club called Blue Lounge. You went to?
I went to, there's a club at TRM ground floor. Can I remember the name? On the back entrance. I can't remember the name, but that's the first place I went for an activation. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went there, got there. So we had these girls who were dressed in the Energy Nights, because the program was called Energy Nights.
Yes.
So what we would do is we would take photos of anyone who's taking Red Bull or Sky Vodka.
Yeah.
And we would shoot from around 8 p.m. up to around 4 a.m. Then you have to find your way home.
Yes.
So luckily for me, on the same first night, Chaxi, who was now in charge of the bar, I think he was going through all the areas where we had activations.
Yes, he was.
And at the time, Chaxi was living here in Kiunguro bypass. So he comes to where I was, and he's like, where are you headed? And I tell him I'm going to Riru. He's like, come in. So we came with, what was the name? Mohans.
Yeah.
The company that
it was
promoting
Mohans,
Red Bull
yes.
at the time. So we came with that van all the way to Riru. So that's when now I met Chaxi and we had a conversation for the first time. And flash forward for that, I think we did Energy Nights for like 2 months. Then we went and had a sit down with Red Bull. And we had a conversations about our dreams and what we want. So I think for you it was more about music and events.
Yes.
Then for me I was more interested in sports. And so from there, when Red Bull started the Neymar Five-a-Side football tournament, I took that. But it was not the first tournament that I shot. There was a skating tournament that was in Machakos. And I think Frasha was the one who had organized it. Frasha of P-Unit. So that was the first tournament that I shot. And then Red Bull had already contacted someone for Neymar Five-a-Side, but I think he was not available. So in the process, I got a chance. And I got in and ran away with it for 2 years. So it was quite a big thing in my career, because I think that was the first assignment that we ever shot that had a clear short list.
Yes.
Because Red Bull had amazing briefs. I would be told, this is what you can shoot, this is what you cannot shoot, this is what you want, this is what you don't want. And after that, when you go to the field, no one is there like on your case. You just go do your thing. After you're done, submit the images. And I loved it because the program would run like for 7 weeks. So, for 7 weeks, you're occupied. We would travel on Thursday. Because Neymar Five-a-Side, especially in the first year, 2018, it was being done in 7 or 8 counties. I think 7 counties. So start from Mombasa, go to Machakos, Nairobi, Nakuru, Eldoret, Kisumu, then Nairobi again for the finals. So it was amazing because we would travel on Thursday, do recce on Friday. Saturday we shoot the tournament. Sunday we travel back. Monday you do your edits and deliver. On Tuesday we go for a brief. So where we talk now about the next shoot. And then on Wednesday, you're there packing your stuff. That's the travel again. So it was really amazing. It formed a very good network for us and a Red Bull community. And in the process, I got now to learn a lot about documenting live events and sports, because with sports, you can't fake things.
Yes.
You have to shoot things as they happen.
Yes.
So learning to be alert, learning to shoot action modes and all that. So it was a beautiful journey. And I did it for, I think, from 2018 to 2021, because there's a time we even shot Black and Wine, I think, for 2 years.
Yes. Appended to that, can you tell guys about the first time we got a check from photography, because we were with you?
I think we went to Red Bull offices.
Yes.
And the time, I think it was Adele who was in charge of programs. So we get there and we get this check. You know, there's that excitement that you get. I had gotten checks earlier, but not in photography.
Yes.
That's when I was doing IT. But the feeling was so amazing that for the first time, we are not being paid in cash. So, we are going to check this thing. For me, I think it's still a highlight. We did it here in Riru. Where did we bank it? I don't even remember.
I don't even remember, but I remember as we were walking through town, I remember saying, I wish you could display this check for the world to see.
Yeah. Photography pays.
Photography pays. That is very nice. So that reminds me, in the course of us working for Red Bull, because actually there's a time we were the official photographers for Red Bull for Kenya. We even shot content at Ngong Hills. We might have those images. We can put them in the interview. But now, when we are doing this particular assignment, used to mention things that were not making sense to me about going to shoot in the wild and something that we used to call documentary, because by then I'd not been exposed to the local aspect of documentary photography and videography. I only knew the Nat Geo aspect of that. So how did you get to know of this other genre while we are busy shooting clubs and events?
Interesting. I think now that's where now passion comes. When I got into photography, I've always dreamt of 3 types of photography. I love sports, football to be precise. So, like I said, Stuart McFarlane is like one of those photographers that I really look up to. So you can imagine this is something you love. So let's say, if for those who support maybe football, so it's the club that you love, then you love photography. Then now you are doing 2 things that you really love doing, and you are really good at it. And now you can share to the world. So for me, sports has always been top. That's why I'm grateful to Red Bull, because it gave me that platform. But secondly, I've grown up in Amboseli, and I love adventure. Like, that's top of my world. So adventure and traveling. So I'll say sports, wildlife and adventure, and now just traveling to different places. So how I came to start doing this, there's a friend of mine I call him JK, or John Kangede. He runs Cheetah Revolution Safaris and Discover Africa. So when we were starting photography, he was more like 5 years into now his
tours and travel.
Yeah. So what we will do, if guys, just local trips, we started local trips. So if guys have booked for a trip to go to Magadi, because I remember Magadi was the first project that we worked together. If he has like 16 clients, and maybe we have like 4 slots remaining. So now for him, maybe as the guide, him organizing maybe a tour guide, a driver, and an extra seat. So I'll use that extra seat. So he's not paying me, and I'm also not paying him. But now what we would do is we would document the trip now for the client. So just take photos, just the fun bit of it. He gets photos to post. I also get photos to post. Clients can also post the photos, and in the process we all tag each other, and the portfolio started filling in and in. So it gets to a moment where now we have like a 5-day trip, and then now in the process where now the clients maybe would pay, maybe let's say it's 25,000 for a trip, for a 5-day trip, they end up maybe paying 27. In the process, there's something now that goes to my pocket.
Nice.
Because now value develops like that. But for a long time, like for over a year, we did that without paying each other. But now what it really helped me with is most of my clients came from those trips. Because now after that, now maybe someone will call you and be like, hey, I have a Aurora show. Can you come and shoot it for me? In the process, I make money. So for me, value has always been in collaboration than just looking at that instant cash value that I'm getting.
And that is something very noteworthy because currently, let's say mostly in the younger generation, not of just photographers, the younger generation of the population, most of them are very money oriented. So that idea of I can work for someone for a year or with someone for a year without making a coin does not cut really well for them.
Yeah.
So what did you tell them?
See, I'll say something that's very direct or might feel like I'm being harsh. When's the last time you saw a Safaricom advert?
Safaricom advert. I think the last one I saw was this new packages they have for bundles.
So when?
Day. Like maybe I saw it on YouTube as recent as 3 or 4 days ago.
Good.
Yes.
So maybe 3 or 4 days ago.
Yes.
And if you spend a lot of time, maybe let's say on TV, you'll probably see it daily.
Yes.
Coca-Cola. Just think about all these big companies. Yet, someone once said that you go somewhere deep, maybe I'll say maybe Turkana, and this young kid there knows Safaricom, but he doesn't know Jesus. Are you getting the idea?
Yes.
So basically, marketing is very, 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 very important. So the problem with us artists or wasani wote, our problem is thinking that we are very big, that everyone knows us. But unfortunately, the truth is very few people know you. Very few people know you. So the only way that a client can reach out and say, hey, Billy, I want you to come and document a project for me, is if they have seen my work.
True.
And how can they see my work if I am not getting any client jobs? And then the next thing is, how can clients trust me with a job, yet they have never seen my work? So the first thing I have to do is to do what? To build a portfolio. And that's now where a lot of volunteerism and collaborations comes in, where I look at value this way. Let's say now you have Somo Studio here, which is really, really amazing. But maybe when you're starting out, you don't have a budget to market it.
Yes.
But I have an idea of a podcast that I want to do. I also don't have the money to go and pay for a studio. But every time when I start my podcast, I'll be like, hey, my name is Billy and I'm at Somo Studios. So every time that I say that, I'm pushing Somo Studios.
Yes, true.
And in the process, when someone says that today we have a session with Billy, in the process, we also lifting each other up. That's how I can say I've really seen my journey. Because if we didn't collaborate with you, there's no way that you would have referred me to Jackson.
True.
I have to build that trust, so that you can actually refer me, or now a client can actually call and say, hey, Billy, I need to work with you. So it starts with building a portfolio, and you have to do what it takes to get that portfolio done. So it's hard to build a portfolio with client jobs. In fact, most of the jobs that will get you clients are your own personal projects.
Very nice. So I think the story is flowing very nicely. We are at the point that you're getting into doing personal projects to build a portfolio that is going to get you documentary work. So take us through that.
So let's go back to Red Bull. So with Red Bull, we had established ourselves as events photographers and sports photographers.
Yes.
So I was good at that. But I had a dream of shooting documentaries, because you see, with Red Bull, if I don't have events or any sports activities happening,
there's no work.
There's no work.
Yes.
So what we'll do, I'll go back to that Red Bull project. So let's say we have gone to Kisumu. I said we used to travel on Thursday. On Friday, we have the whole day to ourselves.
Yes.
Doing recce. For us, because I will do that job with Gregory Kio, one of the best gaffers in Kenya.
I should get Kio here someday.
You should bring him. So Greg is the one who actually introduced me a lot to the film industry, and he has been a good mentor to me. So Greg was videographing or filming the events, the tournaments, while I was doing stills. So what we would do, we would always document the culture of where we are going. So yes, we have Saturday to shoot the sports events. We have arrived there on Thursday night. We have an option of just sleeping. Tomorrow we go, we see, oh, so this is the location we'll shoot. We go and sleep again and wait for tomorrow. So what we do, and I'll give a very good example with Kisumu. So we get to Kisumu on Thursday. On Thursday night, we look for a few locals and ask them, so what usually happens in Kisumu? Where's the lake? Because for most people, you'll go to Kisumu town thinking that you'll just see the lake there. It's very far away. So we talk to people, so they say, if you want to go and see guys coming from fishing, you have to go all the way to Dunga, get to Dunga Beach maybe by around 5 a.m. so that we can see them coming back. So after we have done that, the next question is, can we get like borders or guys who can take us there? Then we agree with them. By 4:30 a.m., come to our hotel. They are there. So we go. This is Friday now, early in the morning.
Yeah, early in the morning.
So we go to Dunga Beach. We document everything, like from the sunrise. You can see now people coming back with their boats. There's a lot of frenzy that happens when the fish arrives. And then now we ask them, so once you've gotten the fish, what do you do? Okay, we go and weigh them, and then they're categorized. We have fishmongers who now pick them and take them to the market. We pick one guy. We go with him all the way to the market. When they get there, so what do? We wait for customers. Then we document all that. So in the process, when let's say now on Greg's part, now when he's showing, showcasing Kisumu now, like this is the Neymar Five-a-Side Kisumu edition. So it starts with that. You can see the lake, you can see guys enjoying fish, and the whole Kisumu culture. And then now you bring in the sports.
Sort of like you're using the location and the
Yes.
culture of the community to establish the event.
Yes.
Makes sense.
So in the process, I am slowly developing my own portfolio, because this is not for Red Bull. What I am shooting, all this is not for Red Bull. I'm only shooting for Red Bull on Saturday. But since I have that access, that I'm there in the location, I use this. And I remember my first exhibition, some of the photos that I really sold were taken from Kisumu, there at Dunga Beach. Very beautiful landscapes. So that's how I can say you can use client jobs to make your own portfolio.
Nice.
Because now you can imagine we did that in Kisumu. There is another very beautiful image that I had sold of a guy making mandazis in Machakos. You remember it?
Yes, I remember that
Yes.
very vividly.
Yes, exactly. So you can imagine everywhere we'd go. If you go to Mombasa, we'd go and document that early morning sessions in Mombasa, that feeling. So by the time maybe we are done with the 7 weeks of shooting the sports, I have my little portfolio that I've built. When I go with Kanyede to do the trips, and maybe I have seen some wild animals and that I can shoot, that's still my little portfolio. If you have gone to a new culture, maybe interacting with the Maasai community or what, I'm still building my portfolio slowly. All these have not been paid directly, but they are, I've shot them because I had access to that. Yeah.
Nice. So part of those projects, because I was following what you are doing, there's a time I saw you shooting bees.
Yes.
So tell us about that and who you are working with when shooting the bees.
Yeah, I can say I'm a beekeeper. I can train people on beekeeping very well.
Beekeeper or beekeeper the movie?
Both. That's why my name starts with the B. So, back to Chaxi. You know, life is funny because when I think about it, it goes back to that DM that I had from you. So it's through you that I got to know Chaxi. Then in 2018 to 2019, I was shooting a podcast for Chaxi. So before Mic Check, Chaxi and Hiroshi used to host a show called Just Kidding Podcast. So for those who are watching it, Chaxi will always start with, what up guys, my name is Chaxi, this is the Just Kidding Podcast, Hiroshi is in the building, and maybe today I'm hosting Simon, something like that. So one of the days that I was filming, so it was me and a guy called Tafari.
Yes, I know Tafari, yes.
He's still filming for Mic Check. So Tafari and I used to film Just Kidding Podcast. So on this day, Chaxi is like, I'm going to bring an amazing guest, Billy. You should meet him. This guy is good. He hosts an amazing show called BYSS. So Jason comes, and so at the time he was hosting BYSS, which is an amazing impromptu comedy show. And so you see, this is pre-COVID. This is around 2018, 2019 there. So we shoot his episode, which was really amazing. He's an amazing comedian. And we laugh a lot. I take his contacts, I keep it. He takes mine, he keeps it. We don't talk for a whole year. I remember the time we were shooting at Kyoko Art Gallery, and I was doing my exhibition at the time, so my photos were still on the wall. So flash forward, 2020 December, I get a call And before even the call, I would, because I follow him on Instagram, I would see, Jason now is doing a lot of beekeeping. What's happening? What's going on? But I'm interested because he's doing lots of trips, and now that seems like something that's really pulling me.
Yeah.
So he calls me on this very random Monday evening, and I look at the call and it's like, hi man, it's been long, bana. We have not talked. How are you doing? And then he says, I have a crazy idea here. So the photographer has been working with, has bailed on me, but I have some installations of beehives that I need to do in Kitale. And I was wondering if you would be available for us to go and shoot. And yeah, so when is it? When are you leaving? Tomorrow 4 a.m. He's calling me at 6 p.m. And I laugh. I'm like, are you crazy? He says, well, it never hurts to ask the question. And then I tell him, I think I'm even crazier. So we'll go. So we are supposed to go on Tuesday and come back on Wednesday. We came back on Friday.
What changed? There was
We
so
did
much
lots
to
of,
shoot.
I remember the beehives took a while to arrive. I think they took like 2 days. Then we decided to do our own detours. So we go to Kapenguria. We shot an ad. We shot an ad for a place called, I don't even remember the name, but it's owned by Zipporah Kitoni. I'm trying to remember the name. It was a very beautiful restaurant there. And then we went to where we had the Kapenguria 6. So we just started documenting almost everything. And we ended up doing a whole episode of the trip. It's on YouTube. And then, so in the process, we come back to Nairobi and we have this discussion with Jason. What does value mean to you? At the time, I knew I want to build a portfolio in documentary photography. I didn't have that. And then Jason shares his vision that he wants to really help farmers working in the bee industry. So by training them, helping them understand the benefits of bees and all that. And he told me it doesn't happen weekly, maybe once a month or twice a month. And whenever I'm available, I can always come. So whatever he was being paid was little. So it was not enough for him to actually pay me. But I knew I had a lot of free time because it's when I was still doing lots of YouTube videos on fashion. So in the process, we work together for almost a whole year because that's now from December 2020 to almost December 2021. And around October 2021, I get this open call about a photography workshop that's happening in Dar es Salaam that's fully paid for. For I think it was for 10 days. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to apply for it. What did I use? So by the time we are getting to October, I think Jason and I had done over 30 installations in different places in the country.
Oh, nice.
So I had a lot of photos that I had shot during that period. I also had lots of photos from a CBO that my friend Elvis and I ran in Lesotho called Heads and Hands Initiative, where now I would document everything that we do in the Maasai community. So it's those photos from Heads and Hands Initiative and from Jason's company is called OK Honey, which comes from Kikuyu word OK, which means honey.
Nicely played.
So the guy is smart, I told you. So it's those photos that I used to apply for the program, and I got in.
Nice.
So it was called Capturing Climate Change, and then we got there, and we were under the mentorship of an amazing photographer from Netherlands called Kadir. And in the process, after you are done, you were given an assignment. You have a whole month to go and make a documentary of your own. Now, a documentary photography project. So we didn't even celebrate Christmas because you have to submit it by January. Then an exhibition was organized in Dar es Salaam in February. I remember I was the only one who went for the exhibition. And from the Kenyan team, we were 4 people. So that's when my first time getting to work with Godwin. Godwin Owino, I think so. Godwin and Tony Wild.
Tony Wild.
Yeah, and these guys are really, really amazing. So I get there, I get to Dar es Salaam, do the exhibition, and it was amazing. I got to meet lots of people. And now I think now from there is now when my journey in photography took a big turn now into documentary photography.
Nice. So from that particular response, can you please expound a bit on the
Heads and
heads and
hands.
hands initiative? Yes.
So I grew up in Loitoktok. So this is we call it the Amboseli ecosystem. So all the way from Kilimanjaro and all the adjacent areas where we have Amboseli. Growing there, Witness and Elvis, the same thing. So was Elvis like my childhood best friend.
Yeah.
So we've grown up together. We've run away from school together. We've done of course, all the trouble. in
Son
the
of two
community
teachers
together.
ran away
Yes.
from school.
Yeah, we
I
were
did
trouble.
too.
We were a lot of trouble. So Elvis and I have witnessed a lot of deforestation happening in the place. A lot of decline in the soil, the environment, wildlife, and even now the human wildlife conflict, and also modernization. So a lot of changes happening in the community. And also there are a lot of gaps in terms of literacy, in terms of community empowerment, and all that. So in 2018, when I was getting into Red Bull and doing lots of shows for Red Bull, Elvis had applied for the Mandela Washington Fellowship, which he got, and he went to the US. So he comes back and he tells me, Billy, I think what we have been seeing for a long time, there's something we need to do about it. So I have an idea. How about we start a community-based organization and we call it Heads and Hands Initiative, where basically it's about bringing together our heads or our minds and our hands to start empowering our community.
Nice.
And so in 2019, we register and we do our first project where we were working with high school kids and class 8 kids, and we were calling it the Step Up Program. So from then, we have done so many projects where we focus more on conservation, youth empowerment, and also women empowerment projects, and conservation education. So by conservation education, this is where now we train people on what's the importance of conserving our environment, other than just going and tell them conserve. They need to understand. And our main target is primary school children. So we work a lot with them. We mold them when they're young. So by the time they even go home, they inspire their parents to also protect the environment. So it's been a beautiful journey. So in the process, while we are doing the trainings, I'm also filming. So it's a win-win for me because I still get a lot. I had to build my portfolio a lot, and I use it now to make my documentary portfolio.
Nice. Yeah. So now that we are in Amboseli ecosystem and Loitoktok, let's stay there for a moment. And let me first of all say thank you for taking me to Amboseli for the first time in my life. Actually, the first time I saw Kilimanjaro, it was courtesy of him. But that particular trip was very different because that was 2023 January.
Yes.
It was very sunny. I remember even I suffered a heat stroke when we were shooting. So, but what was different for me is before that particular trip, I've done a lot of work with you, but both of us were taking photos.
Yes.
But on that particular day, I was taking photos and you are doing videography. So how did that shift happen?
Remember when I was mentioning about when I wanted to buy my first camera, my dream was to film, not even to shoot.
Yes.
But I come and I realized it's not that easy. And there's a lot that's required. And so I decided I'll start with just photography. But in the process, I became a very good photographer. But now clients would give me assignments, and in the shortlist, they want a video and they want photos. So I already knew I was very good with photography. You know, when you get to that moment and you say, like, someone can wake me up at 3 a.m., like knock at my door, give me a camera, tell me go and shoot, and I'll shoot. But when it came to video, I was not so good at it. So I decided I'm going to challenge myself. So when working with the heads and hands, I'd always try and film. And then in the process, I just make my own little films, and I never publish them. I just go and work on them, training myself. And then I think now, when I was doing a lot of YouTube, by the time I was doing Beyond the Lens with BMPix, that's still on YouTube, I would shoot and edit my videos, my videos. So in the process, I got to learn a lot about editing. And then I am a big consumer of documentaries. I think one of my favorite channels is National Geographic Live, which is a channel where photographers or scientists or National Geographic explorers globally come and make presentations about maybe the assignment. Maybe it was a 2 years assignment, a 3 years assignment. You have like 15 minutes to make a presentation. So for me, that was really inspiring. And in the process, I became curious about it. So I decided one day, you know what, I'll get into film industry and see what it does. So I used to shadow Greg a lot. So when Greg is going to do his documentary films, I'm with him. I'll just help him with the lighting or whatever he needs. And then in the process, I get to learn a thing or two. So when we went to Amboseli, I was on assignment for Africapo. So Africapo is run by an amazing lady called Nazreen, who was also a Mandela Washington Fellow with Elvis during the same time. I actually knew her through Elvis.
Ah, nice.
So during that assignment, we were documenting the impact that Africapo is having on the women there, because they had gotten this amazing project from the Mandela Washington Fellowship, where they have to make those lanyards for the whole event. And now these Maasai women were the one who are making it. So my journey in that project was to document the process, how the lanyards are made, how the bags are made, and the whole process from making them to shipping them all the way to South Africa, where we had the event. So for this assignment, it was my first ever filming assignment. And of course, I was very excited. Thankfully, I remember that at that time, Nikon Kenya gave me, that was my first time that I tried the Nikon Z6 II. And it was amazing. So the client was happy, I was happy. And my journey in film industry, documentary filming, started there.
One funny thing, if you go to my portfolio, I have a page on documentary photography, but that page has just one assignment, the one that is shot for Africapo, because I also got to shoot some very beautiful images, and I got to learn a different aspect of photography, because I've been in studios for so long. I've shot in studios like for all my photography years, but I've not been to a docu. Okay, I remember that day when you got to the location, the first thing you did is teach me something new. I had to relearn how you do my photography, and it taught me that aspect of shooting for the highlights, shooting in RAW to go and recover the shadows in post. So that also points to the importance of learning even when you know, because many people in my shoes will be very resistant to being taught, because minimally I know these things, but I took that nicely, and I've been employing it in my photography until now. So thank you for that. So is the Africapo project still on?
After that project, last year we had a really amazing project. So with Elvis and Nazreen being Mandela Washington Fellows of the 2018 program, there is usually a project where a program that comes where you can apply for grant.
Funding.
And luckily they got the grant.
Nice.
So now we did a collaboration between Heads and Hands and Africapo last year, where we ran an amazing project called Empower Craft. So I was documenting all of it. I think it's a lot on my Instagram page. So we were coming up with alternative sources of income for the Maasai women. We're working with women for this project. And it was really amazing, because now it's what we would do is we would train the women on financial literacy. We would make sure we register all of their women groups officially, get them bank accounts. Equity were very good partners in the process. And it became such a success, because now Nazreen traveled to the UK. That's where she lives right now. And now what she would do, she created a market there. So once some of the products are done, they're sent to the UK. And the good thing was we would get orders first. We would look for orders, so that when these women are making it, are making the products, they're actually making money from it. And it became like a very beautiful circle.
Nice. Now you have talked about Africapo, and in the same line of talking about the bodies and organizations you have worked with, I think we can go to the bigger fish, and you can maybe mention the WHO assignment, because that's why I was like, this is the level that this Billy is playing at. This is what he has been working on and telling me about for the last 5 years. It never made sense to me until I see you shoot for WHO. So please take up that.
So I'll take you back to 2021. So we go to Dar es Salaam, do this training on capturing climate change, do an exhibition in February 2022. So for that exhibition, the sponsors were not paying for a flight or fare to go to Dar es Salaam. I decided, you know what, I love road trips. So took a bus from Nairobi to Loitoktok. From Loitoktok, I went through Tarakea border, is the Kenya-Tanzania border. Took a bus all the way to Dar es Salaam. It was actually very cheap. I think I used only 1,500 shillings.
Oh.
Or, yeah, 1,500. So I get to Dar es Salaam. I have my budget of like 10,000 shillings. That's what I know that I'll use for the next 4 days and come back. It was a risk because no one was paying me or to do anything.
Yes.
So we get there, we do the exhibition. So we have all the images, even from the guys like Akina Tony World who are not there. So because we were 8 photographers, 4 from Kenya, 4 from Tanzania. So we do the exhibition. It was amazing. And then I meet this amazing woman called Samira. She just liked my images. And after the exhibition, we just went for lunch with the rest of the team. And we sat down and started having conversations. We talk about films, the types of films we love, the type of assignments we love. And then she now admits that she was actually a curator for this project. And she told me she's the one who sent me the open call to come to apply for this project. So we have a conversation, and I tell her the kind of projects I really love are filming impact projects in communities. I'm not so interested in studio work or shooting concepts that are coming from my mind, but more of documenting impact. And she's like, okay, that's amazing. And we just, we exchanged contacts, and we never talked for a very long time. So I go back to Kenya, continue doing my work with JSON and all that, the other small assignments that I have. And then this is now the election period, 2022. So I remember that at the time I had just shifted from the house that I was living to the new house. So the rent was high, and I was believing that now I can afford everything. And then between May and August, it was very dry. I think during election period in Kenya, like people they hold back their money.
Yeah.
They don't want to spend. So that time was very tough. And I remember that this day I was playing FIFA with my friends and just in the house. And one of my friends was looking at his phone. Every time he's like, "There's an email I'm expecting. There's an email I'm expecting." I told him I don't even remember the last time that I checked my email. And it's just because I got disappointed a lot and stopped even looking. I said, because you're here, let me try. And I opened this email, and the first title is Opportunities to Work with WHO. I look at it. So it describes the job, has the contract in it, has the amount of money they'll pay me, and when the job, like everything is very well stated. I remember screaming and saying, yes, I've not even been given the assignment, but I was super excited. So flash forward, so I respond, I say, yes, I'll be available. The assignment is to go to Marsabit County and document. During that time, we had a lot of drought all over the Horn of Africa, including Kajiado, my home county. So the assignment was to go and document the impact of drought on food security and health. So they had not done any assignment, I think, since 2019, before COVID. So I was excited to do it. The assignment was supposed to happen in August. Election comes. There's a lot of dispute happening politically. And it had to be pushed all the way to October. And I think to the end of September. So I remember getting this call when I was at a client's place, and I'm being told, Billy, I know today is Wednesday, but the assignment is on Sunday. It has been confirmed. The doctor we are waiting for is here. Time to go. So I went to Spa Mall in Ruiru and waited there for the UN vehicle to come and pick me. I remember when I was entering the vehicle, they thought that I am a Mzungu coming from a different country. They didn't even know who Miaron Billy is. And so when I entered, they still thought I'm coming from a different country. So everyone was a little bit silent. And, are you Kenyan? I'm like, yeah. And now everyone chilled. You can talk Swahili and just have fun.
Yeah.
So I went there. This is the first time ever I'm getting an official assignment for an organization. Because Because I remember I had applied to so many organizations, just wrote proposals to them, but no one was giving me an assignment. So WHO apparently, when I said I was available, they asked me for my portfolio. What did I send? Photos from Heads and Hands, photos from what I was doing with Jason in the beekeeping. They looked at it and they were like, yeah, he's good. We'll work with him. So they took a leap of faith in me. I called Nikon Kenya. I was like, hey, I have this assignment. Can I borrow the Nikon Z6 II? I was like, yeah, sure. I was given. I went. It was new. You see, the way you were saying by the time you were coming to Amboseli, you felt everything is different.
Yes.
This is also how it felt. Because now here you have a short list where you are told these are the type of photos you can shoot. For WHO, we don't display such images. We don't show like maybe half-naked people, desperate people, and all that. Then you learn a lot about what the organization wants. Everything is very clear. How you'll be paid, where you'll sleep, who you'll work with. So now it's up to you now to go to the field and look for someone to work with. Now, I was used to these small projects where I get there, shoot, done. I go back home. This assignment was supposed to be a 3 days assignment. It ended up being a 6 days assignment. And I remember day one, we just traveled to Isiolo, slept in Isiolo. Day two, we traveled to Marsabit. We get to Marsabit. I'm eager to shoot. I just want to shoot. And the guys I was with, they were just telling me, hey, chill, man. We're not shooting today. So I'm working with guys in the communication department of WHO. So there's a guy called John Kisimir. And at the time I was working also with Dr. Adam. So these two have done this a lot. So they understand what happens in the field. They have to go and make sure they have built all the network. They need to make sure we have a fixer. All the community officials know that we are coming. But me, I'm excited to shoot. So it's on the end of day two. Now they told me, now Billy, come, let's sit down. So now this guy is available. This is not available. This is what he'll do. This is what he'll not do. And then, you see, we are used to shooting weddings and all these events where we deliver 300 photos and more.
Yes.
I have a 6 days event, 6-day shoot assignment. I'm supposed to deliver only 24 photos. That's all they want, 24. So everything is clear. You need to make sure that everyone that you shoot has signed a consent form, agreeing that they should be shot. Get their names right, get their story right. So if I'm coming to shoot you, I need to write your story. So I'll have to sit down with you first. You give me your story. I learn about you, and then now I can do the shoot. So it slowed me down. Because I remember now on day 3 now when I was doing the first shoot, I shot lots of photos, like 1,000 photos. Then later on in the evening, I called John and Adam, and asked them, can you help me review? And I learned a lot from them. They were like, no, we cannot use this image. You see, there maybe something has been placed medically. This is not right. So I get to learn that it's not just about me shooting. I have to understand what works and what doesn't work. So if I am going for any other assignment, if it's a medical assignment, I need to understand what the doctors do. So if a doctor is holding maybe an injection, pointing it up, what does that mean? If someone is stepping on a weighing scale, what are they looking for? Is it malnutrition and all those cases? So they taught me a lot that now it's not photography based, but now understanding what's happening on the assignment.
Yes.
And in the process, WHO really loved the photos that I took, that instead of 24 images, they took 42. So they licensed even more images. And after that project was very successful. My images were on the cover of WHO globally. I got featured on the cover of WHO publications twice. And I think that was in January and October editions. And from them, I think I have done now around 6 projects with them.
Ah, nice. So there's something you just mentioned, which I think for many photographers, we are not aware about, because courtesy of how photography, WHO is international and global.
Yes.
So their standard of how they procure photographers, how they pay us, etc. is global and standard. So when you went for the WHO assignment and you came back now, or when you're going through, when you're taking me through what you had done, showing me the photos, you also showed me the contracts and the payment, payment terms. So tell us more about licensing, because it is an aspect of photography that I think locally is explored by, I think, less than 1% of the photographer.
So when you're working with organizations that also understand, what do I call it? But they understand the impact that you have. So let me give you an example.
Yes.
So we go back to the WHO project. At the time, there was a lot of focus on the Russia and what the other country, Ukraine war.
Ukraine, yes.
But people are really suffering in Horn of Africa. So we have these assholes, the arid and semi-arid areas in the country. But you see, photography is a very powerful tool.
Yes.
We use it as evidence. So there's no way that, even the UN depends on donations
Yes.
from other organizations or companies. So there's no way they'll go and say, hey, we have a problem in Kenya, we need donations to go and support them without evidence.
Yes.
So I had a very important assignment to go and actually use photographic evidence to show that this is actually what's happening on the ground. So you see, WHO already understands what one image from Billy means, the power of that image. So when I'm given that assignment, in the contract, one, there is my daily stipend. Me as the photographer being there on a daily basis, it's a certain amount that I need to be paid. Secondly, if I'm working as an assistant, there's a certain amount there. There's what we call reimbursable payments. So this is now if I'm working with a fixer, if I'm eating food, if I am sleeping, accommodation. As long as I have receipts, I can go and do it and claim them.
Yes.
But so the daily stipend also works the same way with editing. They understand that for you to shoot these images, you still have maybe a day or two that you need to edit so that you deliver. So that's also catered for. But now, most importantly, so you have shot and you have edited.
Yes.
So you are done with the work. So what usually happens? So you go and shoot. The first edit does not mean like going on Photoshop. The first edit means like you have 300 images. Can you narrow them down to 100 images?
Culling.
Yes.
Yes.
So narrow them to 100 images that describe everything that we told you in the shortlist. So let's say the shortlist says we need to see health workers working. We need to see beneficiaries receiving the benefits. We need to see community volunteers helping. We need to see the landscape. We need to see the communities. So from the 100 photos, I need to make sure that at least I've captured everything. So this is like the wide edit. I take these 100 photos, share them with the team. They go through those 100 photos. They pick their favorite 24 photos. Now, these 24 photos is what they will license. And there's a license fee for each image that they use. So in this case where I was given the assignment to go and do it for 3 days and they take 24 photos, when they did their edit, instead of 24, they picked 42 photos.
Yes.
So, which means they have to pay extra for all the photos that they are licensing. So what licensing helps with, it protects you as the photographer. It protects the person that you shot, because they also signed a consent form saying they have given WHO and partners and also me as a photographer the power to use these images. So if someone else uses those images and they were not on that consent, this person or even WHO or even me, we all, the three of us, can sue that other person.
Makes sense.
You get. Secondly, if WHO uses an image that I did not license to them, then they have no way of claiming that image because I have not licensed it to them.
And that is even if the image has been shot under their budget in terms of logistics and paid for editing. But it as long as it is not licensed, they cannot use it without coming back to you for the license.
Yes.
Makes sense. Very nice.
Yes.
So talking of images, you have done a lot of exhibitions. So both locally, internationally, I think you can mention a bit of that as we proceed.
My first exhibition goes back again to when I was shooting Just Kidding podcast for Chaksi and Airosh. So we got bored of shooting inside the house. So we started looking for just different places to work with. Then one day, when we were going through James Gishuru, we see Kyoko Art Gallery. And Chaksi is like, this is a gallery. Let's go and check out.
That's around Lavington Mall, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we go to Kyoko at gallery, and luckily on that day we meet Kyoko. We have a conversation with him, and he says, you know what? Actually, you guys, no, we talk with him, and then we decide we actually going to interview him and talk about the local scene.
Art scene, yes.
Yeah, the local art scene. So he invites us, we do his podcast, which was really amazing. And in the process, I got to ask him if I can get to do an exhibition. And he's like, yeah, we actually have a joint exhibition that's happening, I think 2 or 3 months. So you can just send your images to a curator. If she likes them, then you can be invited. I had this section to myself where I was just showcasing my photography work. And all these photos, none of them were from a paid assignment. So it's now like what I had shot in Kisumu, early in the morning at Dunga Beach, in Machakos, some projects I had done with my friend Ramadan Hamisi. I think you know him.
Yes.
He's an amazing artist. So we would do some projects together where I would shoot, then he goes and draws. So it's a collaboration between me, the model, and Rama.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was the best seller actually during that exhibition. And it was a good motivation. And I remember there's this amazing lady called Margarita Gasheru. She was a good editor at Nation. She passed, I think, 2 years ago, last year. And she came and she saw that image that I had of Kilimanjaro, and she was really inspired by it. So she documented the exhibition we are doing, and we got showcased on Business Daily, and also the 2020, what was this art diary called? I'm trying to remember, but my work was featured there as 50 of the best, alongside the work of what's the name of this guy who went to Canada?
Osborne Macharia.
Yeah, Osborne Macharia, exactly. Yes. So Kenya Art Diary 2020. So my work is featured there. I still have that diary at home, and I love looking at it because that's the first time that I actually saw that my work can be appreciated, not just as a documentary work, but now also as artwork that can be put on the walls. So from there, now I did several exhibitions. From there, I went to, is it Goethe Institute or Goethe?
Depends.
Yeah, I did an exhibition at Goethe Institute. I think I donated a few images to the Kenya Museum. And then from there, now I did the ones in Dar es Salaam. Came and did another one at the Netherlands Embassy in Kenya. And my most recent one was an exhibition about my conservation work in Amboseli. So it was called A Touch of Nature. I've documented it also very well in my website. It's there. So where I was showcasing the beauty of Amboseli and also some of the wildlife that we have in Kenya, in other parks in Kenya, but also showing the plight of the wildlife because of now the human-wildlife conflict and climate change that's happening.
Nice. So tied to exhibitions, you are an award-winning photographer, and not this competition that you have locally that people have to pay to vote. So how did that happen, and what was the award that you won?
Okay. I think I have several, but so from the work that I was doing in Marsabit County
for WHO,
yeah, for WHO, I remember a very emotional photo that I took. But mostly when we just talk about emotions, people think about people.
Yeah, true.
But there were no humans in that photo. It was cattle. They are waiting for their turn to drink. So this area, a place called Kuku Farm in Marsabit, it's very dry. I don't know if you've been to Savo. We have a place called Shetarilava, where it's just rocks.
Yes.
Nothing grows there.
Yes.
So that place looks like that. But there is a borehole, a well. Where now there is water.
Man-made or natural?
Man-made.
Okay.
Now cattle can come and drink water. And now the problem is, before you get there, the cattle have to walk like for 3 days without eating because now the whole area is dry. Wow. There is no food. So it's either the cattle will eat this little grass that's there on this other side without water, or comes to drink water. So by the time the cattle are coming, they are very, very weak. So they get to the watering point, and there is a whole line of so many cattle that are very weak to drinking. So these cattle now, are taken to the watering point in shifts. So they have to wait. You see, like the way police do when you're going to a big event. And the guys are told to wait, and then after these others are done, now they can go. So now I shot this cattle and they are waiting for that moment to drink the water. And it's so bad because you see now these cattle are weak, but they're also very hungry and thirsty. So they get to the watering point, they drink a lot of water, they overdrink. So their bellies fill so much, but now the cattle become very weak, they can't walk. So most of them die near the well. So these cattle can see dead cattle. They can see the other cattle drinking. They are desperate. And so we had 3 cattle just holding their heads to each other. Just it's like they're consoling each other and telling each other, you know what, remain strong. So in 2023, I think in March, Netherlands as a country was the one hosting the UN Water Conference. So in the process, they had a competition called Water is Life competition. So where we had 3 categories to go and submit in. So one category was called lot of water. The other one was called lack of water. And now we had quality of water.
Quality of water.
So where you'd, when you're talking about too much water, now we mean flooding and such cases. Little water, I mean now drought, famine, and just lack of water in places. And then now the other one is now the quality. Is the water clean? Is it dirty? So use your photographic skills to document this. So mine, my submission was now that photo of those cattle. And it was among the winning... We were several winners. We were around 15. The overall winner was I think a guy from Egypt, and then mine won now in the lack of water category. So yeah, I went for my. I think it's the first time that I actually went. No, the second time that I went to an embassy, and that was in the Netherlands embassy. I went to pick my award there.
Very nice. So I think a lot of what you have talked about so far about documentary has been centered on environment and maybe non-human factors. But I think there's an event I covered last year where you had is it last year or this year? Last year. Where you had a screening for a film on a very sensitive topic of FGM. So can you please tell us about the Braves of Naningoi?
Well, Braves of Naningoi is one of the projects that I've ever done that I cried a lot while shooting and filming. So, last year, Elvis and I, my partner at Health Enhance Initiative, we want to do a project on vertical gardening and introduce it to our community. And then we learn that there's a school called Naningoi, somewhere in Kajiado that we had never been to, in Kajiado West, and they are doing amazing agricultural projects. So we went there to benchmark. This place is in the middle of nowhere, near a town called Mosiro. So we get there, and we get to learn about the school. So this lady called Selina tells us about the story of the school, that she was among the first girls to study in that school. And it's later on it developed into like a rescue center for girls who are escaping FGM, where FGM means female genital mutilation. And also escaping early marriages. So, you know, people hear about these things and they think that it's just something of the past. But you get to that school and you realize that most of them have either escaped or are facing the danger of child marriage. And lots of them have gone through FGM. And the ones that have not are still feeling a lot of stigma. So that story caught my eye. I even forgot about what I went to do there. And the lady who had invited us there, called Sarah, who runs an organization called Naramat Charity, I talked to her and I told her, I think I'll come back to this school to document this project. It didn't even take me long. After 2 weeks, I was there. I went with Elvis. We went and camped there for, I think, 4 days. And we sat with these girls, with the teachers, everyone in the school. And the girls would share their stories and they were very horrifying. So we would film, everyone is crying, we stop. And I would tell the girls that if you just feel that you don't want to do it, let's not do it. And they were like, no, let's finish crying. We'll do it because if we don't talk about it, no one will ever talk about it. So I do the documentary. Took my time to edit it, and it was very impactful. So now we didn't have a lot of budget because Naramat is also a very young charity. So we decided to look for partners who will help us in doing an exhibition, because we are like, we are not just going to post it on YouTube or something. We want to see and have a conversation about this topic. So we organize the exhibition at what's the name of the hotel?
Team Sedai.
Yeah, Team Sedai.
Yeah,
in Karen. So we just get a small, like a 3-bedroom house, a villa, and we use the kitchen and the sitting room. So I had only invited like 25 people. We are not expecting a lot of people. So we got good partners, and team gave us the venue. You offered to do the photography. Then we had another team that offered us like screens and the things that we needed. I remember I even carried all my cables and everything that I had in the house.
Yeah.
During the exhibition, I think we were around 80 people. Lots of people came. And the most important thing for me was the girls, all the 4 girls that I had interviewed,
Yes.
got to travel all the way to Nairobi. This is the first time that these girls get to see Tarmac Road and to experience Nairobi and to see Nairobi. And so during the exhibition, not the exhibition, but the screening of the film, now we get now to do the premiere there, and the girls are there. So after the premiere, now we have a conversation about FGM where they get to say their stories. And it really shook the community, especially in Kajiado, because a lot of conversation now began from it. And it's good because now the girls got to speak more about the school, about what the impact now the school is having on them, and to share their dreams. And they were heard. They were heard, and for me that was very, very important. So that's Brace of Naningoi. I submitted it, and it won the Best Documentary Award. And it's from then that I actually realized that these impactful projects that I am doing are more important to me than I even feel they are important to the other people. So I decided I'll always focus on projects that matter to me. And then now if I see that this project is important to me, and there's a way that I can showcase it to the rest of the community, and it's going to impact them, then for me this is a positive project. I'll go with it.
Very nice. I think, where can people watch that particular documentary?
So the documentary is on YouTube. You can just go to Naramat Charity, or you can just Google. So you can either Google Naramat Charity, it takes you to the channel, or you can Google Brace of Naningoi. So basically, this is the story of FGM being told now by these very young girls.
Nice. Because as I remember, it is one of the saddest events I've covered, because a lot of tears flowed in that particular room. So I can just imagine how the filming must be very intense. So you talked about shooting stories that are of importance to you. And something that I know is also very important to you, let us switch the mood up a bit, is football.
Good.
Billy, the Arsenal fan. Now, there's something that you have found a way to merge your love for football with your love for documentary work. And that's very interesting. So can you please tell us about that?
You remember when I mentioned travel, football or sports, and wildlife? God works in mysterious ways. Now imagine I got now to do those 3 at once. I'll go back to collaborations and volunteering. So a friend of mine called Louis calls me and tells me, "Hey Billy, I'm starting my own travel company, and right now I don't have anything to pay you, but I'm going to Masai Mara for 4 days. If you would love, I would really enjoy if I had your company there. Just come and help me document the campsites that I want to showcase. And there's a few people that I want you to meet there that might be very inspiring to you." At the time I had work that I was doing, so I told him I'll not be available until the last minute when the work I was expecting got cancelled. I was supposed to go to Kilifi to document something for Liverpool. VCT. So when that got cancelled, I called Louis and told him, "Hey, I'm available. When are we going tomorrow?" Picked my bags. We went there. So we get to this place, like you're driving in the bush in the middle of nowhere, and then you just see these very beautiful campsites. Then you have their boys working and welcoming us. They are wearing football jerseys. And I'm wondering what's going on here. So I get to learn that these boys have just cleared high school. So they are from the Maasai community there. And then, so they have been picked from the football leagues that they were playing. Then they have been trained to set up the tents, to repair them, and to do catering for the guests. And then another team of those boys have been trained on basic mechanics. Now this is what caught my eyes. I was taken to the garage. So these boys, the first thing they're given when they come there, the engine of 109 Land Rover.
Land Rover, yes.
So they have to learn how to dismantle it and to settle it, to fix it in a car. So what they would do, they go to the communities. They buy old 109 is what was replaced by 110.
Yes.
So they are quite old military Land Rovers. So mostly would be found maybe by the grandparents.
Yes.
So they would go and collect old ones, come, assemble them, and create a unit of a vehicle that now will be reliable in the community. So in the process, the boys will learn how to make the vehicles. They learn how to maintain them, and then now they're taken to driving school.
Ah, nice.
Then they drive them. So let's say this is a campsite, and I have guests who are coming. So guests will be carried by these fancy land cruisers.
Yes.
But their goods, the food and everything is now carried by the Land Rovers. So the boys get work.
Get work, yes.
And these are mobile campsites. So instead of coming and camping on a hotel, what you do is we have these containers that contain everything that the campsite requires.
Yes.
So if right now we are moving from one place, and let's say in the context of Nairobi, so let's say today we have camped in Kahao. Tomorrow we are going to camp in Langata. So us, as the guests, we will go do our game drives and all that. But in the process, these boys will carry everything. By the time you are getting to Langata, they have set up everything again there.
Oh.
So you can imagine the impact that now it has on the boys, because they used to be discriminated a lot because Maasai Morans are supposed to be taking care of the community. They're supposed to be taking care of the cattle, but they're here playing football. So the parents were not happy with it. But right now they are very well organized. The boys now have their leagues registered. So all the money they're making from the vehicles goes to the league. And then now they have these amazing Boran bulls that have been introduced to the community. So you bring your heifer, it gets mounted for 1,000 shillings. You get a better calf, and then the boys also get money. So it's very sustainable. And last month, I was at the Magical Kenya
Tourism
Expo this year. And these boys were among the 2 teams that got to present. And their presentation was really amazing. So getting now to see that the whole world is now watching that documentary and learning what these boys are doing. And it's a game changer for the tourism industry.
Yeah.
It was really amazing documenting that trip, that project. I think I shot for the first phase I shot for 18 days. Then the second phase I went there for 10 days. Yeah.
Very nice. So as you're coming to the tail end of it, you have an educational background because, like you mentioned at the start, both your parents are teachers, just like mine are, and they always say that we have that Swahili saying of mtoto wa nyoka ni nyoka. So what that means is the young one of a snake is a snake, and by default, like I grew up hating teaching because I think teaching is sort of enslaving, sorry for saying this, because it takes your life away. For as long as you're a teacher, you are always giving until you retire, and even after. Because even in the villages, Malimu at 70 still gets consultation because they are Malimu. So I got into the line of teaching and training photography for the sake of skill transfer. And in the course of that, I noticed there's a gap of trainers in photography and videography in the country. So currently I've been running a class at Wajiku's Collective. And once in a while, I've been looking for people who can come and cover a given class or maybe a given topic that I'm not so well versed in. And among those people is you, because you took my class for a week and took them through documentary photography. So how is it for you doing training and mentorship and skill transfer and empowering the next generation of storytellers?
Like you said, teachers are givers.
Yes.
You know, the most beautiful thing about giving, you have to learn.
Yes.
You keep on learning. Like right now, I can tell you, I know how this camera works. But if I have to go and train someone how to use it, I have to retrain myself again.
Yes.
Because right now, I'm on, what do you call it? A muscle memory. Like I'll tell you, give me the camera so that I change that setting for you, but I cannot tell you how to change it. But the moment I know now I have to go and train someone, I also have to do my research. So mentoring, the first thing that's good about mentoring is that you research and you learn more. Teaching is a skill.
Yes.
And it's also a calling.
Yes.
So if you have it, it's always good to share it. So for me, I believe in mentorship because I have also been mentored. That's why I mentioned people like Greg. And then secondly, in this field, they say the cake is so big you cannot have it alone.
Yes.
So let's say if I didn't get to mentor guys or share my skills, let's say even with you, there's no way I would have worked with you or for the Africa project.
Yes.
Because I can be given an assignment or I have 3 assignments. I can't do all of them.
Yes.
But there's someone else who can do it. And they are available. So I love mentorship. And that's why I had begun the ISO 100 Club, which is a club where even once in a week I would just give free classes on photography, just teaching people on basic photography. But right now I'm more focused on storytelling. So even now at Wajuku, what I was really training these young minds is storytelling. I told them, I'm not going to teach you anything about the technical part of photography.
Yes.
Simon is here for that. I'm not going to teach you about studio work. Simon is here for that. But me, I'm going to teach you about storytelling. And I remember when they were doing their presentations about the stories that they can showcase in their community. Oh, it's just beautiful to watch. Because now they realize I don't need a big camera. I just need a phone and the story. Once I have it and I know how to present a story, then it will be good. So I value mentorship a lot because it's through mentorship. Like now, someone like Ami Vitale, who is like among the worldwide photographers that I really look up to. And I've seen her doing impactful projects and I learned a lot from her. So getting to meet her in person and then now joining the Vital Impacts program, which she runs, I got to learn a lot from other photographers. So the only way that I can keep even learning more is by also sharing my knowledge. Because in our industry, I think we get more of our jobs from our peers than from even just clients.
Very true.
Yeah.
And I saw, in case someone is maybe looking to be mentored by you or maybe to get some of your training, what are the channels and what are the platforms that they can maybe use to access you or the resources that you share along those lines?
Okay. So I'm very easily to find online. I'll start with that.
With a verified Instagram account.
Yeah, I have a verified Instagram account.
Pole boss.
Even if you search the best documentary photographers in Kenya, you'll find me there. If you search my name, Billy Miaron, you'll find me online there. So of course we have many people who are jokers. So the first thing that I try and look at is this person really into what they're talking about? So mostly it starts with a portfolio review. Because you cannot tell me this is what you love doing if you don't have a portfolio.
Makes sense.
And then if I ask you why you don't have a portfolio, say it's because you have not got any client jobs. That for me is a turn off. So it starts with portfolio review. Every time someone tells me that they want me to mentor them or to guide them on something, the first thing I'll tell them, send me your portfolio. I'll have a look at it. Then we can have like a video call or an in-person meeting. We go through it together. And maybe in the process, you might even learn what you really want to do is not this, or you might discover something new. And then in the process now, we can start our journey, our mentorship journey.
Nice.
But it has to start with you because you cannot be mentored into something that you are not into.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for someone who's growing in photography, how do I know what line of photography is for me and what line is not for me? Because when you're growing as a beginner, every kind of photography is enticing. You want to shoot like Capedo, you want to shoot like Billy, you want to shoot like Lines, you want to shoot like Okaka, you want to shoot like Hadithi. So what is the guiding principle that can maybe help a beginner know what line for photography is going to be best for them?
That's an interesting question that lots of people ask. And I'm an adventurer. So I love finding myself. I'm the kind of guy who will tell you, try all those first. Because there's this saying that the worst regret you can have is not doing.
Yes.
So many people are always afraid of doing something because they'll regret it. But I'll say the worst regret you'll have is not doing. So try it. If it works, then it's for you. If it doesn't work, it's not for you. But again, one of the biggest challenges we have like now here in Kenya is you have no room to fail because you want money, you want to pay your rents, you still want to shine as a photographer, and you want your work to be impactful. So I would say shoot everything, then ask yourself, of all these that I've been shooting, which is the one that I can still shoot even if I'm not being paid? Then you will know that that's what you're passionate about. Now, still shoot all these others because you need the money. Then in your free time, keep on shooting this until when you have built enough portfolio on this other one. So this is now where you go to your personal projects. Like now, the way for you, your personal projects involved a lot of commercials. Yes. Remember when you were doing Kashilling, you were calling it what?
Kashilling na kafilling.
Yes, Kashilling na kafilling. And in the process now, you are doing commercials for Rubis and the rest. The reason why you got there is because slowly and slowly there's something you are building in the back while still focusing on these client jobs that you know you cannot really showcase.
Yes.
But this is what you're passionate about and you can showcase. So I would say do something that you're passionate about and then do something that gives you money. Then if now you can be able now to merge them. You see now it took me quite a while before now I got into documentary, which is what I love. But I had to do all these others. Lot of fashion, lots of weddings, lots of nightclubs. There was a time that I was shooting from Thursday to Sunday on nightclubs along Thika Road. And of course I didn't love it.
For Blue Moon?
Yeah, for Blue Moon.
Yes.
And my friends were happy because they would get lots of Blue Moon vodkas. But I loved doing it because if I have shot for 1 week, there's one person there who will refer me to a friend and say, there's a photographer I met at a club. He can shoot your event. Then in the process, I get now to do what I love. But this other one, I'm doing it for the money.
Ah, nice. Yeah. So I see we are coming to the end of our story. And just before you conclude, you have mentioned the word portfolio so many times in this particular conversation. And that reminds me, a lot of us don't have portfolios ready. You call someone, hi, I have this job opening. Can you send me a portfolio? They share 50 images on WhatsApp. So as someone who has a very nice portfolio, both in document and in website, because you do web design from your IT background in campus. So what is the impact and what is the need for having a good portfolio as a creative?
I bet that most Kenyans have taken a loan, especially mobile loans here or there. The first thing those people look is your M-Pesa records. So let's start there. That's a portfolio.
That's a portfolio.
So if your M-Pesa shows that the highest amount you've ever had in your M-Pesa is 2,000 shillings, there's no way I'm giving you a loan of 15,000. So it's the same case now with photography. Trust is built. And the only way I can trust you, the reason why Blue Moon called me immediately and they were like, we want to work with you. They saw I was working with Red Bull.
Yes.
So how impactful your portfolio is going to be depends with who you are worked with, who has trusted you with your work, how you deliver that work, and also the work itself. Can the work speak for itself? So there are people who have amazing portfolio with the little wording.
Yes.
So you just open and they'll say portraits. You just look at them and you're like, oh wow. Weddings, you just look at the images. Then there's now someone like me. Since I'm in documentary field, each photo I'll use, I'll write something about it. Because that's my way of reporting. And that's how I'll still report the work that you'll give me. So the impact that a portfolio has depends with what you've done. So you see, there's no way you can tell me I'm a hairstylist and I have not seen anyone whose hair you styled. I'll not trust you.
Yes.
But if you can show me my portfolio, and not just your portfolio, in that portfolio, link to that client. So if you said you've worked with Red Bull, can I have a link that takes me to Red Bull
to see this
I can
particular work?
See, oh, you actually did this work.
Yes.
So like now for you do lots of commercials. It's as simple as having a photo of that billboard somewhere on Thika Road and having it on your page and showing me, this is it. So I'd be like, hey, if Ruby's trusted this guy with a project, who am I not to trust them? And so the bigger the clients you work with, the bigger the size of the project that you've done, the more trust you build. And the only way you can do that is by keeping on shooting. So your portfolio does not mean client jobs only. Then put only your best work. You'd rather have 4 images that are your best,
Yes.
that will sell you.
Perfectly put. I think I'll not add anything to that. So as we summarize, I want to grow into docu-photography.
Yeah.
How do I get to know of openings, opportunities, and resources that can help me towards that particular direction?
Good. I would say the first thing is put yourself in those places. Most of the projects that I've done, okay, let me say, Naningoi, I went there to do something different. So the idea, wrote a proposal, got to do that job. This second one that I've just talked about is it's called Naidura. So the projects on the boys in
On the
Masai
football,
Mara.
yes.
So for Naidura, I'd gone there as a travel photographer, just documenting Louis' trips. Then in the process, I saw, and I did another proposal about it. So you see, you are the artist, you are the producer of these stories. So you're the first person who should notice the stories. So learning how to do proposals is an amazing thing. And nowadays we have ChatGPT. You can just tell it the idea that you have. It will create it for you. Then you can customize it to what you want. And then now opportunities are usually there. Most of the NGOs do these collabs for photographers and proposals. And that's why you need to be very well established in terms of the background that you are now creating. So do you have a bank account? Are you registered? Do you have a company, or are you officially registered here in Kenya? So that if you are given a job, because most will not want to give an individual, even if they're giving you as an individual, they'll pay you maybe as a company.
Yes.
So just making sure that you are legally registered and all that is good. And then you can Google them actually. Sometimes you can just Google for the opportunities. And then keep on posting. You see that Instagram friend of yours who just keeps on liking. Maybe their mother is a communications manager at a certain company or organization.
Yes.
You never know.
Yes.
So keep sharing your work. Even if you found someone you had gone for a drink, maybe in a bar, talk to them about your work.
Yes.
Be the first advocate for your work, and after a while, it will come back.
Nice. So I know I'm going to get short if I don't ask you what gear you use, because I know people are curious. So maybe you can just mention. I know we are not people who peg what you do on the gear that we use, because you're good enough to use any camera. But there's your line of arsenal that you normally go to work with. So maybe people will have to know, what does Billy, because we have put a lot of images in the course of the edit, and people have seen the kind of work that you do. So you can maybe tell them what you normally use to get this kind of work.
So for a long time, I shot in Nikon, from the D3300 all the way to the D750, and then I didn't own Z6 but I used to borrow from Nikon Kenya. And then the moment now I got into filming, I shifted and I went into Sony. So I use a Sony A7 IV from 16mm to around 200 mm. That's my arsenal.
So then in terms of lighting, maybe.
Now, something about me, and it's from when I started photography, I always loved shooting with natural light.
Yes.
So in fact, most of my documentaries, if there is a lighting that I have used, is a reflector.
You don't carry your strobes to once a bit.
I don't carry strobes. I don't carry strobes. And now I think the reason why I would really advocate for Sony is because of the good dynamic range that the cameras have, especially now for photography. Like you said, I told you when we were in Amboseli. So I always shoot for the highlights and make sure that the highlight is not overexposed. Because I know when I go to post, I'll always be able to bring the shadows and recover them well. So with that, even the Nikon Z6 II is also amazing for that. So I'm an advocate of a camera that's a hybrid camera, because I'm a hybrid shooter. I do film and I do photography. So it depends with someone, because when I was purely focused on photography, the D750 was a king.
Yes. That is perfect. I don't think there is more to add, because you promised me a second part of this documentary, In the Wild.
In the bush.
Yes, so I think we can sum it up here. And do you have anything to say to the people that are watching you? Maybe as you summarize, you can say to that particular camera. Yes.
All right. Maybe this is to mostly photographers and film aspiring documentary filmmakers out there. The stories are there. We have so many stories out there. And the most interesting thing is that the best stories are in your town or in your community. But because you're so used to that community, you never see them until someone else comes and does that. I got to experience that a lot. A friend of mine would go to Amboseli and do an amazing documentary there. Then come back and tell me, Billy, why have you not been shooting this? And it became a wake-up call. So what I would say is that there's a story there. And for you to see a story, just look at the problem. If there's a problem somewhere in the community, there's always a solution or there's always a cause of that problem. That's where you can now start doing your stories. And a story basically just needs to have a beginning. I would say start with the guy who's the hero of the story. Think about the hero of the story. Secondly, what's the goal of that hero? So let's say it's Simon. Your goal is to make sure that you teach young photographers in Kenya to learn how to tell more stories. So you are the hero. Your goal is to do that. So now let's go to the challenge. What's the challenge? You have to go all the way to Ajuku, which is in Mukuru. Find your way to get there. Start training these children from the start up to where now they get now to understand how to shoot, and then now train them to film, and then mentor them maybe for like 4 months or something. So if I come and document that, I have a whole story. Because now I'll end with the impact. So now, what are these children doing, or these young photographers? So like now in Wajukwe, I understand that the students that you have been working with this year are now making money from street photography.
Yes.
But it started with us getting there and they don't understand anything about photography. But right now they can operate cameras and all that. So that's how I would say the stories are there. Just need to pick what the story is all about and an audience and showcase it.
Ah, nice. I think that is nicely summarized. So thank you so much for making time. And nowadays you don't live in the city.
Yeah.
So you finding yourself here is a lot of effort. I appreciate that. And I think I'm going to also make effort and come to the wild so that we can have another take of this particular conversation in your context where you normally have
elements.
In your
and
element.
You're welcome there. And I'm going to show you. We are going to shoot without any lighting.
Ah, nice.
You just use the sun.
That's
amazing.
We're looking forward to. So.
All right.
Thank you so much for watching this particular episode. I hope you learned something. If you want to get into documentary photography or any type of photography that Billy has mentioned, in case you want to reach out to him, I'm going to put his links in the description of the video that you can maybe follow him on Instagram, view his website that he has made himself, and you're going to get a lot to learn from Billy. So until the next episode, my name is Simon Chege, aka Mwalimu. We are shooting this podcast at Soma Studios in Kawasukari. In case you're looking for a space to come and do your projects, you are very welcome. We have the space for hire, and Mwalimu can assist you with his wealth of experience. So without further ado, have a good time. Bye-bye.
I hope you found that episode to be insightful. I have just recently been nominated for the Photography Creator of the Year for the 2025 Beck Awards. And you can vote for me under the category of Photography Creator. You'll see my name, Billy Miaron, BMPix. Yeah, your vote counts. This means a lot to me because it's a recognition of the work that I do, a recognition of the stories and of the people and the environment that I document about every day. So go there, vote. So once you vote, you can share with your friends or anyone else who has been inspired by my work. And this is just a motivation to keep on shooting. So thank you.